Hi, I'm Faith from McAuliffe-Shepard Discovery Center, and thanks for joining me for part 3 of my at-home science demonstration series about atmospheric pressure. Now this time around, we're going to look at how atmospheric pressure impacts boiling point. So I have an empty glass jar here, and I have some warm but not boiling water. So it's pretty hot, but not hot enough to boil. And I'm going to use my funnel to carefully put some of this hot water into my glass jar. About 3/4 of the way full. So I have a thermometer here, and it does take a minute to complete its reading. But we should be coming in somewhere between about 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, looks like it's about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So water typically boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So our water is hot, but it's not hot enough to boil. Now what I have here is an apparatus, and if you've been watching the series, you've seen all of these parts before. We have a rubber stopper, a valve or a tap, which can either be closed, allowing no air to flow through here, or it can be open, which does allow air to flow through. I have a little clippy piece on the other side of my rubber tubing. We'll get to that in a minute. First, I'm going to use the stopper to seal off our bottle there. And again, if I were to close my nozzle, then no air could come and go at all from the bottle. But when I open it, air can come and go just through this tube, not through the sealed top. Just get that lid on there extra tight. Okay. Now I'm going to take the clippy part at the end of my rubber tubing, and I'm going to attach it to a hand pump. We saw this in our last demonstration. Attach it right to the end of that pump there. So watch what happens when I pump air out of the bottle, meaning that we are decreasing the air pressure inside of there. If you can see, the water in my bottle, it's hard. But the water in my bottle is actually boiling, even though it's below the 212 degree Fahrenheit boiling point. The reason that happens is that when water gets really hot, all the molecules inside there become excited. And the most excited, the most active molecules join together and they escape the liquid in the form of bubbles. Now, typically, when we are at just regular atmospheric pressure at sea level, the weight of the air pressing down onto the water means that water has to get really excited. It has to get to 212 degrees Fahrenheit for the molecules to be able to escape the liquid in the form of bubbles. When we pull air out of the bottle, or when we in essence decrease the atmospheric pressure, the molecules do not have to work as hard to break free to escape the liquid as a boiling bubble. That is why, excuse me, that's why when we're cooking, for instance, if you're in a place with a very low elevation where the air pressure is going to be higher, the atmospheric pressure is higher, water has to get hotter in those locations to actually boil. Whereas if we were in a location like at the top of a mountain where the atmospheric pressure is pretty low, like the bottle here that we have, then as we saw, water can boil much lower than 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna do this one more time just to get a really good effect. I hope you enjoyed this, this entry in my series, and join me next time. Bye-bye. There it goes. It's a boiling.